Hi, this is Jamie Irwin. I am your Deltagrams editor and also the website editor. I just kind of like to do a technology 101 with everybody. I'm going to talk about Windows 10, a little bit about internet browsers, a little more in-depth on Google Chrome, which is an internet browser. I'm going to talk a little bit about email. Then I'm going to go to our Missouri State website and look at it. Also our Missouri YouTube page. And then I will talk a little bit about the international website. So first of all, this is a PC, a personal computer. It's using Windows 10. If you have an Apple computer, a Mac computer, it will look different than this, and I'm sure you're already used to your differences. But as far as Windows 10 goes, you can tell it's Windows by this little window right here. I'm going to click on that window, and across the bottom, this is the taskbar, and then this is the start bar. The start bar here is like the old Windows 7 start bar, and that you can see that I can scroll up and down, and this is all of the software or programs, more commonly known as apps or applications now. We used to call them programs. Now we call them apps. So you can see everything here in alphabetical order. If I wanted to find my calculator, I would just go to the C, click on the calculator, and there it is. And it closed up. So that it takes the Windows 7 start bar and puts it together with the Windows 8 start bar, which some of you might remember. And this is a little more user-friendly. However, a lot of people missed this vertical one, so they combine them together. On this part of the start bar, you can make any of this the way you want it to. It's all customizable. So, for example, I have my common Microsoft Office icons I need here. This is Word and Excel, Publisher, and PowerPoint. And I have just put some things here that I like. You'll notice they're different sizes, which you can change that. So, for example, if I want to make Netflix different, I can right-click on it, look here where it says resize, and maybe I want to make it larger. And it will look like that. Okay. Go back, right-click, resize it. This is what wide looks like. And I'm going to go back and put it the way I had it before, which was medium. And then I had to move that up to get it back the way I liked it. To remove things, I'll go ahead and take the calculator off. I'm just going to right-click, unpin from start. If I want to put it back on, here's calculator over here in the C's, right-click, pin to start. When I do that, it's in a different place, but that's okay. I can right-click, resize it back to small the way I like it, and just click it and drag it up here to where I want it. Okay, so that's start. Right here is what's called Cortana, which is a search, and the voice for this on Microsoft Windows is Cortana. But if you click on search, and it might look a little bit different. I just have this as a little magnifying glass. Some people have a whole little bar there where you can type in, but I have it as a magnifying glass, and when I click on it, I get this screen. I do want to point out that to see what I see exactly like I see, you do have to have all of your updates downloaded on your computer. And Windows sends updates probably about once a week. You'll notice it because when you go to power off and you click on power right here, it will say update and restart. Or if I click it, it just says restart because I've already downloaded all the updates. So you can do a lot of things here. You can go through apps, you can go through quick searches like what's the weather and so on. Or then you can put in, for example, if I was looking for Internet Explorer and I couldn't find it anywhere, I could just start typing Internet Explorer. Which also reminds me that Internet Explorer is on Windows 10. However, if I go to the eyes, I will not see Internet Explorer. they're trying to phase out Internet Explorer, and they want you to use Microsoft Edge, which you'll notice right here is in the M's. So if you think something should be on here that used to be on an old computer, just search for it there. It might be there. Okay. I told you that this button was for Cortana, but actually this one is on this. So sometimes the updates change, and I don't even notice the updates are changing. So that one you can actually talk to it. I don't do that very often. This one is a different view. You can see what's happening. So I don't mess with this a lot, but you can actually have different desktops running at the same time. I'm going to go back over here and click on the File Explorer. The File Explorer is very important. This is where everything is on your computer. So I'm going to go ahead and close this one right here. The first one you'll see is Quick Access. And this reminds you of things you have done recently. I don't usually pay a whole lot of attention to that. What I do look at right here are these folders. I do use my OneDrive. OneDrive is, I could spend a talk for 2 hours probably on the cloud, but in Microsoft, their cloud drive is called the OneDrive. If you have an Apple phone, your cloud drive is called iCloud. If you use Google, you have the Google Drive. All that means when it's saving to the cloud is that it's saving on their servers someplace, wherever they've hired out to have servers. And I'm sure that they have servers in multiple locations so that if a building burned down, we would still have all of our documents. So what's kind of nice about the OneDrive is all of these documents and my desktop and everything that I have saved here is also being saved in the cloud at the same time. So the other day my computer didn't work. I just grabbed one of Mom's. I signed in to Microsoft, and all of my documents were there. I didn't have to worry about that I'd lost everything and hadn't backed them up. So that's kind of nice. So I go to look at files here in OneDrive. And then this PC is where you see these documents. They look exactly the same as the documents in my OneDrive. But the reason that is so is because I have that syncing turned on, and therefore when I put something, if I go to Microsoft Word right now, type a letter, put it in my documents, it will sync, and it's not immediate, but it will show up here in my OneDrive as well. So we have Quick Access, things you've used before, OneDrive, which is the cloud. You can see there's a little cloud there. This PC. So here are the things that are on my desktop. Here are the things that are in my documents. Downloads is a common file that you need to look in. Sometimes whenever you look at anything on the internet, your phone bill, I think I see AT&T there somewhere. Right there, that means I had looked at a phone bill and it's gone to the downloads file. Music, pictures, videos, and so on. The C drive is your actual hard drive. Then you also have a network place too. I'm not going to go into that. Most of the time people keep it on Quick Access, or I will keep it on this PC. So that is your File Explorer. It's very important to know what that is when you're trying to save documents so you know where you're saving it to. Okay, after this I have several icons. This is for Google Chrome. This is for Firefox. This is the program I'm using right now to record with. It's called Screencast-O-Matic, and you can see those. Now as I open things, so I'm going to open up Google Chrome, and I'm going to go here and open up that calculator again, and I want you to notice, I will go ahead and minimize those, that's what this line is right here. I want you to notice how these look different. Google Chrome has a blue line under it, and so that tells me, and it's shaded a little different when I look at it, it tells me that I have a window open for Google Chrome. So if I click on it, that's where I was. Maybe I went to the Missouri web page, minimize it, it's still down here open. Okay, I also have Screencast-O-Matic open, and I have my calculator open. So you can see multiple windows are open at once down here. These are still open. Sometimes when I help people with a computer, I'll say, is your Google Chrome open already? And they'll say no, because they can't see it right now, but it is open. It's just down here. Taking a nap is what I told the kids. Also right here, if you click on this minimize and maximize will make your window a different size, which sometimes is important. Okay. Then as we go across here, we have, this shows some hidden icons that are running. So these things are running. This is like the Windows Defender, which is protecting my computer and what my battery is and so on. This one I can just hold my mouse over it, and that is some type of neat program, probably a Microsoft Skype or something like that. Here's my OneDrive. It says it's up to date. I come over here. This tells me that I do have internet access right now. That's the name of my internet. Then we have our sound, so I can click on that and move the sound. One thing I want to point out about sound is some people will say their sound isn't working. And if you click right here on this sound, and if there's a caret mark here, you actually have two windows open. So I want to listen right now to my headphones that I have on. So if my sound wasn't working, I would need to make sure that it was there. This is if you wanted to use a pen and actually write. My laptop has a touch screen, so that's what that is. And then I can click on this, open this up, and I have a touch screen right on the computer. It's also the time. You can click here and go to any month, check any time and day, and this is kind of handy, especially when you're at work. Then this is the notification center. You look at your notifications, sometimes things will pop up here, and it'll say clear right here, so you can clear them. This most important thing right here, a couple of more important things. If you're on an airplane, you need to go to airplane mode, you can click there. If you need to go to settings, you can click there. And then sometimes you need to go to network to hook up to wireless, like if you go to the library or something like that. Okay, so that is Windows 10 in a very quick nutshell. Another thing I want to talk about a little bit is how you can save icons. I've got a couple of icons here that I need for the convention that's coming up this Saturday. I try to keep my desktop screen, that's what this is, fairly clean. Other people like all kinds of things on this desktop, and that is fine. For example, if I want to make sure that I have, I keep going back to the calculator because it's nice and easy. If I want to make sure that I have that calculator right on that desktop, I just went to the calculator, and I start, I clicked it, and I dragged it out here. Okay, we'll do that again. So I'm going to right-click, delete the calculator icon from my desktop. Now I'm going to go back and put it on again. Click, regular left click, and drag it out here to this screen. So now I have that, and I could do that as many times as I wanted to. I want Excel out there, so click and drag. I want Google Chrome on there, so click and drag. I want my camera out there, so click and drag. So you can put icons on your desktop as you want to. When you want to take them off, you're just going to right-click, delete, right-click, delete, right-click, and delete. Now, I left this here because I wanted to show you, you can take icons also from here and put them on your taskbar. Some people like their taskbar to be filled with the things that they like to do rather than their desktop. So I've already got one of Chrome down there, but I can put another one. So now you can see that I took this icon, it stays there as well, and I have it down here. So across here, same thing goes. I can right-click and pin it from the taskbar. So those are just some cool tips in case you want to make your Windows 10 screen look more the way you want it to look. Recycle bin is almost always here, and I keep it here. It won't go away even if you delete it. There's a way to bring it back, and then you can empty it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about internet browsers. An internet browser is an application that will take you to the internet. So I have 4 of them installed on this computer right now. I told you a little bit about Internet Explorer, which a lot of you are used to. I don't rarely ever use Internet Explorer. They don't support it anymore, and frankly, it scares me to use it because it can be pretty dangerous. It doesn't have anything watching over it. However, there are a few things on Internet Explorer, a few websites that will only work in Internet Explorer. So they do keep it around. But I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it. So Internet Explorer is a way to get to the internet. I can click here, and let's say I want to go to my Gmail, so I'll type in gmail.com, and I am now at Gmail. You can also just search, so if I just type in the word Gmail, I'm going to go to a search engine, and that's what this is. This happens to be Bing, and I can see there's Gmail. So there's 2 ways to go to that website. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close Internet Explorer. And I'm going to talk about Microsoft Edge now. Microsoft Edge, which I also don't use very often, is in the M's. And this is probably what some of you use, and you think it's Internet Explorer, possibly, because it kind of looks like that E. I'm going to click on Microsoft Edge now. Same thing. I have quite a few things I've saved up here, and it looks like it's syncing with something that it shouldn't be syncing with, but that's okay. So I'm going to do the same thing. Let's pretend I want to go to my Gmail. I can either type in Gmail and search for it, which is right here, or I can actually type in the address, which includes the .com, which will then go right to it. So Microsoft Edge is also another way, an internet browser, another way to get to the internet. This one right here is called Mozilla Firefox, which hopefully you're noticing these are all basically the same. Firefox is what I use personally. I have the things that I need here saved. I also have folders up here saved, so I can get to them when I need to. And I bet you can guess, you can search for Gmail, or you can type in gmail.com, or even better yet, if you go to Gmail all the time, do like I did and save an icon right here. This is my Gmail account that's completely clean right now. So that's Microsoft Firefox, which is actually my first choice. However, Google Chrome is probably the most popular, so I'm going to be talking about Google Chrome more today. When I click on that, same thing. Here's your address bar or search bar. They used to be separate, now they're the same. Here is the bar, your favorites bar. So I want to talk a little bit about saving favorites so you don't have to type everything in. Let's say, for some reason, you like to go to KSHB. I'm in the Kansas City area, and I like to watch the NBC News. So every day I go to KSHB, let's say. So I could type in KSHB like that. I could type in kshb.com. Or if I really like to go there every day in Google Chrome, and it's a little different in every browser, you might have to search around. I think most of them, it's a star. I can click this star right here, and then I have a little window that pops up. You can look at it carefully, because if you don't, you won't know where you saved it. These are the choices. Do I want to save this on my bookmarks bar, which is across the top here, and look, it's already put it there, just in case that's where I want it. Or do I want it in another place called Other Bookmarks? Or do I want to click this and decide where I want to put it? I could make new folders and so on. I'm going to cancel that and click right here, look at it. I can also change this. If I don't want it to say Kansas City, news, weather, traffic, sports, blah, 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 blah. If I just want it to say KSHB, I put that in. I could put channel 41, whatever makes me happy, and then click done. So I just added something to my start bar. If I don't like it anymore there, or not start bar, I'm sorry, my bookmarks bar. If I don't like it there, right click, and I can delete it. So that's very important. One thing, if you haven't done already, you'll notice I have the Missouri website here. Save this. You know, especially if you go to, if you're a committee member, president, save this. you would do that the same way. You could search for DKG Missouri. You could click on it from a link. Maybe somebody sent you the email, or you can type in dkgmissouri.com, hit enter, and this is here. It's already saved, but you would hit that bar or hit that star and then save it. So that's something, that way you don't have to type in addresses all the time. There are many other internet browsers you might see around. Safari on your Apple phone is a good internet browser. So let's talk a little bit more as far as anything else you need to do on Google Chrome. One thing, when you see app dots like this, like here are different Google apps that you can go to, or also, so that's got 9 dots, you might see a hamburger, which is 3 lines, or sometimes you see 3 dots. So here's 3 dots. If you ever see 3 dots, here are some things that you can do. If you need to change the zoom, so you like everything to be bigger, you can click it right there. If you need to manage your bookmarks, right there. If you are not seeing the bookmarks bar, like I just told you to save on, then it's probably because it's turned off. So I'm going to click back and do that. Click on those 3 dots. Bookmarks, show that bookmarks bar. Okay. And then there are settings that you can go to. Many pages of settings. So I'm not going to spend very much time talking about that. And so that's your menu in Google Chrome. Let's talk just a little bit about email. And I do have a couple of emails here that are new. You can see they look different, and this is Gmail, whether you use Outlook Mail, Hotmail, an older mail from a long time ago, your specific internet provider has an email, whichever way it is, they're all basically the same. Usually, I've got this in dark mode, so that's why it's all black behind it, has a dark background. Usually things that you haven't read yet are highlighted a certain way, so I've got 2 emails I haven't read yet and 2 emails I have read. Okay, across over here you always have an inbox. You always have a sent box. That's where you have sent to someone else. You always have trash. I'm going to come down here to more. And you also have spam. Spam is something important to talk about because a lot of times this is where your junk is going. And I can quickly look through these and see that this is junk. Sometimes if it's a name, I'll look. Hope you don't have too much on your plate. I have a task for you. Yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't know who any of the rest of these people are either. And so I can actually clean out this spam, or eventually it says across the top that it will be deleted after 30 days. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that out. If you lose an email, for example, if there is some email that I just know I have, and the other day I trashed it, I can go to my trash, I can scroll through them, or I can also put their name in. So Jana Sifkis, our president, and I talk a lot, especially right now getting ready for convention. So if I type in, sorry, not her name, I can see everything that she sent me from her personal email, or her email is president. So I can see everything here. That's what I call it, president. DKG MO Prez. If I click there and search, I can see everything. There's a lot that Jana and I have talked about in the last several months. Okay, you've also got a little number here that tells you. One thing I want to talk about is you can pay attention to, for example, sometimes I'll get emails sent to me and it'll say, I don't know if you got this or not, but here is a copy of the Zoom invitation. Well, instead of saying you don't know if they got it or not, just look. For example, Janice sent this to Judy, who is the first vice president. She sent it to Kay, who is a past president, and she sent it to me. So rather than me worrying whether Kay got this email, I can just look and say, okay, Kay got it. If I looked there, and Kay is supposed to be invited to this meeting and it just says Jana sent it to Judy and myself, then that would be a time. You know, I could send an email and say, hey, I didn't see your name on this. Talk to Jana because she sent out the Zoom invitation. Let's talk a little bit about, let's say I have to reply to Jana here and I want to send a file to her. So if you'll notice, I'm going to go ahead and discard that real quickly. You'll notice I hit at the bottom, reply. Like I said, if you use Yahoo Mail or another mail, it's going to look a little different than this. But if I hit reply, and then I can type the words, here is the file you needed, and all the emails that I've ever worked with to put an attachment on it, it's always been a paperclip. So find the paperclip wherever it is, hit attach files, and you should recognize this. This is the file explorer that we clicked on down here to look at. So I need to know where this file is. Is it on my desktop? Is it in my documents? Is it in the downloads, etc.? So I'm just going to pretend that she needs my Christmas list for some reason. So I'm going to double click on Christmas list. You can see that now it's going to Jana. There are some words that I typed. It has been attached to that. And I would hit send right here. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Missouri State webpage. So, like I said before, you're going to type in DKG Missouri, or hopefully you're going to save it to your bookmarks. So, let's look at this page. You can see across the top, Missouri State Organization. Here's our mission statement, along with our vision statement and purposes. One thing I want you to notice on our Missouri State page is that I always keep this updated. Whenever I go onto the web page and do anything, I change the state. So I've been on it today. So it says website updated on April 12th. So you know that something has changed. There's my name, and then this is a link. If you have your email connected, if you clicked on this, then you could send me an email, or you can right-click on it, copy that email address, and put it in your email. Okay. Another thing you might want to look at is make sure, whenever you're looking at any Delta Kappa Gamma, make sure that this website you're looking at is official and it is in compliance. And this one is. So I'm going to go across the top here, the state officers, in case you just need to know state officer names are right here. I did not link anyone to directly email them because all the information for that is in the yellow pages, and I will show you. However, as the webmaster, I do have mine linked, so you can click there again. That's two places you can find my email address. The Deltagrams, which is the newsletter for our state, is here all the way back to 2013. I do have them saved before that, way back to 2004 when I started being the newsletter editor, and then I can even get older ones before that, as well as the president, and I believe Paulette, our executive secretary treasurer, can find paper copies too if you need something older. But you can see I start spring, summer, fall, winter, and you can click on those to look at the current issue. When I click, this comes up. This is a PDF, so it should work on anyone's computer. It might not look exactly like this. This did not open in Adobe Acrobat. This actually opened in the web browser. So it looks a little different than Adobe Acrobat does, but you can go ahead and scroll down through and read all of it. Okay. On across the top here, resources. This is a very, very important page. This is where the meat, the bulk of our page is. There's usually always a few important things right here. So this is the first place to look. Here was the registration link. Here Judy R., who will be our next president, has a call for state committee members, and the yellow pages is always here. I'm going to click on the yellow pages, and there is a password here, and if you don't know what the password is, you can talk to your chapter president or you can ask me. But the yellow pages, I'll go ahead and log on, is a very important document. This is where sometimes people call me and they say, I don't know the president's email, I don't know, who is in this committee, I don't know who the committee chair is, I don't know who the president of some chapter is. All of that information is always on the website, and you might think to yourself, I'll go ahead and print this and this will be good for the next 2 years. That is not correct. Look at the date. I just made a change today to someone's phone number. So go ahead and print it out. That's great. But if you can't get a hold of a person, you probably need to come back to the website and see if possibly some of their information has changed. So that is very important. We can click on the international website here in a little bit. Here are the chapters in Missouri that have websites, and I only put chapters here that have that seal. Okay, so for example, I'll click on the last one here, Utah. I'll go down to the bottom. They do have the compliance seal from 2020 to 2022. So they have earned the right to have a link here. So if your chapter has a website and it's not linked here, and it could be because you don't have that compliance seal, or it could be because you haven't let me know. So just let me know that you have a website and I can put it there. Then all of this is broken up into committees. So the Achievement Awards chair has given me things to put here. Bylaws and standing rules, communication, you can read the rest of those. There is something that is important, and I did a whole video on this that I'll show you here in a little bit. Some of these say log into DKG.org first, and this will not work. I will click on it, and you'll think to yourself, okay, Jamie messed up, there's an error. There's not an error, it's that you need to go to the international website. You need to sign in. My information is saved there already. When you go back and try to use it now it will work. So that's what that means. I'm going to close all these windows up here. Notice these, I didn't say that when I was talking about it, but these are tabs, kind of like file folders, so you can have several tabs open across here. I used to go to work with kids, and they might have hundreds of them across here that were open. So that's what DKG.org means, and I've also put it someplace else that I didn't specifically write you need to log into, but I did on that one because I've had several questions about that. This would be the same way. It would only work if you'd logged into DKG.org and this one, etc. Okay, I'm going to go on across here. Pictures, pretty self-explanatory. Different pictures from different conventions and meetings that people have had, and you can click on them and make it larger. Oh, she's so fun. Okay, go back up to the top. Our YouTube page. It's clicked directly there. This is our Missouri DKG YouTube page. Right now I've only got 3 videos on it. I would like to have more. When someone asks me a question, and if I get that question frequently, I will go ahead and make a video about it. So here's one that's on what I just talked about, the DKG links on the Missouri website. Here's an intro to Zoom that I put on about 7 months ago, and 5 months ago I put on how to join a Zoom meeting with my son there. Okay, and then this is, will be here for a year. It won't be here after a year, but as soon as I finish making this video, it will be right down here. You'll be able to click. This is our convention page. So it says this is password protected and it's coming soon. The meeting links will be here on Saturday in case you watch this before Saturday. there is a schedule at a glance that might have some changes in it. So today is Tuesday the 12th. I wouldn't print it quite yet. Here's the budget information that is password protected, same password as the rest of the page. And you can see other things here that are coming on Saturday. Something important to see here, spend your money. You can see here is Vicky's information. And if you text her or email her, or right here I've got her phone number just to text. You can call or text and order things. There's some fun things there. So that is our Missouri webpage. I can go back home here. Like I said before, I highly recommend you bookmark it and look at it frequently. Check this date because probably things have changed. Other thing I forgot to say when you're looking here at reports. So for example, if I want a communications award and I want to know how they give the awards, Myrna and her committee have a great form here that explains they would like to see all these things. They score you, and then you can have highest honors, and honorable mention. If you want to print this, now depending on what this looks like, if it's opened in Adobe Acrobat or a different web browser, it's going to look a little different. But almost all of them, there is a print. So you would just download this and print it. Or actually, you'd click on the link and print it. Your other option is to download it, and that's what this one does here. So if I click on that, I can save it. So let's say I want to save it to my desktop. I click on desktop. I might want to save it to my documents, wherever you want to save it. You can change the name of it, and then you can hit save. I change that. I put that on my desktop. So if I minimize, I can go back and I can see there's the newsletter inventory. Now I have it saved on my computer, and I can print it here. Now this is what it looks like when it's opened up in Adobe Reader. Same thing, look for that printer, and I can print it. If I go back and open up Google Chrome, I can print it from here. Okay. So let's go on to talking just a little bit about the international website. I was on it just a second ago. It is dkg.org. There are many ways you can go to it. I'm going to close that because I clicked on it from the web page, which is fine. You could also type in DKG International or something like that. And see, there it is. Or you could actually type in dkg.org. And now I'm there. A lot of things that you want to see, you're not able to see unless you sign in. So for example, when I go to resources and I want to go to, let's just say I go to logos here, because I want to have some logos to use on something. All the logos are right here, which is great because I am signed in. If I sign out and try to go to, well, first of all, there are no resources. That's your first clue that you're not signed in. But other things change. But a lot of things you need, you have to be signed in. This number is my membership number, and then I make a password. If you have any problems with that, it says right here for assistance, email them or call this number, and they will help you. They will look you up, ask you some information, make sure that, it says it right over here, looks like they've been having some problems with Google Chrome. Your username is your 6-digit member ID. Your password must include 7 characters. And if you have any issues doing that, go there. But I'm going to click on and look at how that menu up here changed. I have so many different options than I did when I was signed out. So I'm going to go back to that resources, and like I said, anything you find here. But I'm going to click on logos again here. Same thing. If I wanted to download one of these, let's say I want to put this on my newsletter. I need to pick which one I want. They are the same except they are different files. So this one is an EPS file. This one is a JPG file. This is a PNG file. So most of the time people are used to JPGs, which are pictures. And you click there, and then you pick where you want to save it. For example, do I want to save it on the desktop? Sure, that's fine. Hit save. You can see in Chrome, things that I'm downloading are going down here. Now I'm going to minimize. I'm going to look, and there's that logo. I really like doing these videos because I'm a visual learner. If you're a visual learner like I am, it's really easy to make these videos. It doesn't bother me to do it at all. I can send a video directly to you. I can put it on the YouTube page. Anyway, I enjoy them. So don't be afraid to ask me questions. Don't be afraid to ask me more than once. If you ask me 5 or 6 times, I might make you a video. I might write down a set of instructions so that you can remember, but that doesn't bother me at all. I like technology, and I'm happy to have taken this time. Hopefully this helped somebody. So thank you, and I'll see you Saturday. If this is after Saturday, then hopefully everything went great at the convention.